Special meeting on hearing is now in session. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty for all. Okay. This is the hearing on the closure of Sistersville Elementary School into a consolidation of, that will be the Tyler Consolidated Elementary School. First up is a summary of proposed action by administration.
First of all, thank you all for being here. For this past year in the process and the work that you've all done to get us to this point of this process. So I really do. So moving forward, the closure and consolidation of Arthur I. Borman and Sistersville Elementary School into our new Tyler Consolidated Elementary. Just so everybody knows, when you come up to speak, it is being live streamed tonight, and it's also being transcribed of the process for the State Department of Education and closure hearings. So just know that that's what this slide says. The Tyler County Board of Education proposes the closure and consolidation of Arthur I. Borman Elementary School and Sistersville Elementary School into a newly consolidated elementary school with an anticipated completion date of August of 2027. This marks a significant milestone in our commitment to providing education and opportunities for our students. And before I move on any further, anyone in the audience who would like to see, we have some documents down here after or during you want to look at anything. We have 4 things there. One is a site feasibility study, which is something we've already done on the land that we purchased. Says is that it's feasible to build a school on that land. We have the impact statement, which is the document, some of the materials I'll be going over. The ed specs process, another document that we created starting last January. And then there's conceptual site drawings that McKinley Architects have provided for us, if anyone would like to see any of those. All right, moving with SES, the enrollment, there's been a general decline in enrollment pre-K through 12 over the past 10-year period in the entire county. Looking specifically at Sistersville Elementary School, the enrollment fluctuates, and currently we have 279 students. The number dropped significantly between 19 and 20. We had 288 students in 2021, 267 students. Some staggering statistics. When Arthur I. Borman and Sistersville Elementary School opened in 1975, there were 1,255 elementary students in our county. With that being said, at Sistersville and SES combined now, there's 557. So over that 30-year period, or 50, we have decreased by an entire school. So that's a pretty significant number. Sistersville Elementary School, it was built in 1975 with some renovations in 1999. It is approximately 4,300 square foot. Now the capacity, and it's designed for 350 students. The amenities that it has, classrooms, gymnasiums, cafeteria, library, media center, parking for 50-ish vehicles, and the Office of School Facilities report on this condition or on the elementary school was fair. Shared concerns that we have, an aging infrastructure, windows, doors, bricks, flooring, sidewalk. It's in need of a new HVAC system. It has copper piping throughout, new fire alarms. There is a infrastructure, insufficient energy sources, some accessibility concerns with its ADA compliance, parking and traffic. And at Sistersville Elementary School, there's no true secondary egress from the building. I know for the years that I've been here, we've had talks of opening that road, kind of become an abandoned road where you cannot find out who owns it or who's in charge of it. So that's been an issue. With this consolidation, we will continue to follow the West Virginia Department of Education's recommended guidelines for the number of employees to maintain the number of staff, or to deliver a quality education for all of our students. All our staff will have a job moving forward. When we consolidate these two, we are not laying people off. It'll simply be everyone will move into the new facility and teach. Mainly because over an exorbitant amount in those elementary classrooms. We feel comfortable. All staff will have a job. There are no major negative variances with any of our bus routes. I had put on the table and at the board member's desk, you'll see some bus routes may increase by 10 minutes, down by 10 minutes. Some of them are going up by 20, some of them are going down by 20. But the main thing you need to know is that right now we have 3 bus routes that have waivers. State of West Virginia, which you have to have a waiver if you're over a certain amount of time. With the new school being constructed, we would still have 3 buses that would have a waiver. And knowing that, we are not, opposed to adding a route here or there if needed, but it will be where the concentration of students would be coming from in order to create those additional routes. The driving distance between Arthur I. Borman and New Elementary School 5.9 miles. The driving distance between Sistersville Elementary School and the new elementary school would be approximately 9.1 miles. So those are, I know a lot of questions were around transportation. And like I said, if you look at that chart, you look at your bus route, we pretty much know to the minute how much it's going to change. And again, we'd be more than happy to add a route if we needed to. We don't want kids to be on they have to be. So that's really the transportation issues. As far as finance goes, provide an equal and quality education to each student in Tyler County. The board proposes to consolidate services. This closure would save the Board of Education on and operating expenses on 2 buildings that are antiquated. So we go from 2 buildings to 1 building. Of course, you're gonna save some and things like that there. So what student educational program, what would this new school provide for our students? An enhanced academic opportunities, improved facilities, stronger community bonds, better resource allocations, environmental sustainability, accessibility, and a united school culture. Just to talk a little more about accessibility and safety. With this new building would also come another egress road for the high school, middle school, and a bridge that would be constructed. So it would not only benefit the kids at the new elementary school, but also the high school, middle school, and safety. Right now we have egress at the high school, middle school. This would provide a secondary egress for all those students in case of an emergency. Some of the questions that have been asked, just thought I would clarify at this point, is there will be certain drop-off areas at the new school for grades K through 5, pre-K through 5. There'll be a separate parent lane at the new school. And then the high school, middle school students will still get off at middle school. We're not going to drop all kids off at the same location and make them go. So they'll be dropped off right in front of the front door. And you'll be able to see some pictures here shortly about that. So questions I've had along the way that I wanted to see if I could clarify tonight. The community. We value the history and the significance of both schools. Saying that they've been there now going on, 50 years. Consolidation will enhance the educational opportunities and resources. Fosters unity, accessibility, and efficiency. And our commitment to educational excellence remains unwavering. So, like educationally, the only thing a new school would do would make us grow, would make us better, as far as the quality of education. Embracing change and building excellence. The consolidation of Arthur I. Borman School into a Tyler Consolidated Elementary School represents a bold step forward. Together, we will create a dynamic learning environment that supports the union of students, fosters community engagement, and prepares our students for success in an ever-changing world. So, process for what we've done so far. We started back in January with what we called Ed Specs, working with a group. The Educational Specification Committee participated in a series of exercise workshops to look at the new future of the new Tyler County Elementary School. It was comprised of 57 members, teachers, community members, central office staffs, the SROs, nurses, social workers, a broad group of folks that this would affect. Community members, local businesses, and parents. So if you look at the slideshow, February 9th, we started looking at an educational visioning. So what do we want our kids to have? What will make our kids grow? What will make them stronger? So this was that Ed Specs group that worked together. And then moving forward, this is some of the things they did with ideas, pictures of different ideas throughout different school systems, and they got to put a smiley face or a sad face, I think maybe it was, or a check or a minus, see incorporated in this new elementary school. So that was during the educational visioning phase. Then we went to the 22nd and 23rd. We went to focus groups. So the Ed Specs groups, along with some architects, went to each of our elementary schools with our teachers and staff. And also, what I thought was pretty cool was they let kids design the school, a school, and things that they would like to see in their new elementary school. So all kids in Sistersville and AIB had the opportunity, or groups of kids got to talk to the Ed Specs people along with some architects. So that was in January. So that's one of the processes that we have completed thus far. The next thing that we did moving forward was we put a survey out to all parents online. We had 100 responses, which is a pretty good output of responses for people for the survey. And it looked at a few different things. And just to read you some of it, what academic or extracurricular programs are most important to you for your child's education? Of them said STEAM, science, technology, engineering, and math. So, and then arts and music coming in next. So one of the things we'll look at when we start to design this, have those kind of things included into the infrastructure of it. Rank the importance of types of spaces in the new school. Large flexible classrooms for collaborative learning was the most answered. Incorporate sustainability and eco-friendly features in your school design. So we said level it 1 through 5, 1 being not so important, 5. It landed pretty much right in the middle. 73 people said, either way, all right, average rating. And security features are most important to you. So if you look there, 30% of the people said secure building entrances. So create this, we want to make sure that we're looking, we have good pathways to the outside, And then next to that was systems. Well, I feel like we have a pretty good camera system now, but we have something in the works that I think everyone's going to really another level of security for our kids. We're not quite ready to roll that out yet, but it would be also part of this new elementary school. What do you think are essential in these classrooms? Kind of a mix. I think Wi-Fi and connectability and one-to-one devices and the interactive. So when we're looking at putting things in classrooms, we'll look at these surveys and say, what did the parents want? What did the community want? The other thing was, what community-focused features would you like included in the school? And a lot of it is after-school programs, a lot of care programs like our Boys and Girls Club, or something else if we decide to use it, multi-use spaces for events, and then at a parent resource center. I think that's an exciting feature that would be nice to put into this elementary school, would be some resources for parents. So then we moved on conceptual renderings, which is what you see here in front of you. Please know that these are renderings. They are what they are. They're not finished drawings. They're just renderings to show folks kind of what our thoughts are and what it would look like. I don't know if you've noticed, but there's a video that has been playing that's kind of like a movie of what the space would look like. So the colors and finishes are not represented fully in this rendering or anything like that. We haven't at that point of design. So this would be, if you're on Route 18, this is kind of what you would be. Is that a red dot? Or no? No, okay. So that would be looking at Route 18. If you see the slanted, that would be the commons area. If you're to the left of that, it looks like a multi-tier structure. Those would be for grades 4, 5, 2, 3, 4. And then the other side of the building where the buses are would be for pre-K, kindergarten. And then the centralized areas you see there are centralized things, the offices, the commons, the gymnasium, the main entrance. Cool feature we thought about this drawing was some outside eating space. That's what that is under the canopy there, for kids to go outside and socialize. This would be the conceptual of parent pickup drop. This would be the side of the school where parent pickup would be. So buses and parents would not be interacting or picking up their kids. So that's a plus. This would be grades 1 through 5. So that was, if you were standing in the high school, this is what you would see, to give you kind of an idea. And then the road there, so if you picture the dumpsters out back of the high school, that road is going to go right up close to where those dumpsters are. And then to the left where you see some down there for the addition in the back, that's that 3-story spot you see there. Those would be classrooms. So this would, in looking at this, so think of it as pods. So each grade level would have a pod. So on one level, in first grade, you would have a pod, and then inside of that pod of classrooms would be this learning space, bigger learning space for all kids. It could be a place where we would do whole grade level things, different things like that would allow more collaboration between our staff. So the school will be built in pods: first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade, sixth grade, and that's a rendering of what that shared space would look like for, say, first grade. So some common questions and concerns that I wanted to make sure that we answered. What will happen to the existing Arthur I. Borman and Sistersville Elementary School buildings? Well, the simple question is the buildings will be sold. The Tyler County Board of Education will not keep or maintain buildings after the consolidation. So our goal will be to sell those to industry or business moving forward. What will the name of the new school be? We're not there yet. Not yet been determined. This will be determined by a committee consisting of all stakeholders. So that's one of the next steps if we were to move forward. B and SES have been well maintained. Why do we need a new school? Consolidating two schools into one modern facility ensures long-term efficiency, improved educational resources, and reduced maintenance costs. While the existing buildings are aging and may not support future needs. Leveraging the current influx of oil and gas revenue is a rare opportunity to invest in a state-of-the-art school that will serve students in the community for the next 50 years and beyond. So in the short, right now we have the money to build this without asking taxpayers to run a special bond or a project. So we have the tax revenue now to support and build this facility, and still a lot of money in reserve that can be invested by Mr. Davis. Mr. Davis is not here because he is ill, so he was going to be here to talk a little more about that. He's homesick. Why are they building a new school when AIB and SES were built not long ago? Both schools are nearly 50 years old and exhibiting some failing infrastructures. Water lines are an issue. Issues. We are in need of new HVAC systems in those schools moving forward if we were to keep them open. And so, is the building going to raise our taxes? The answer to that is the levy rate has not changed since 1974. The building is being built with current funds. There will be no bonds or additional taxes. So we are in a fortunate position to do this. Like we're not going to be in this situation forever, and to set our county up for the next 50 to 75 years is the right thing to do. So that's that. All of our students will be in the same area. What about safety? With the additional bridge and access road, central location will allow us to better protect our students. The other things that you will find is that with these consolidated schools is instead of 2 SROs on site, we will have 4 SROs in one location for safety. Two means of egress with the new bridge, and we're looking right now at some software that we would like to include in this new building that I think would be that next layer of protection for our kids. But I just feel like, and in building this, when you build a new school, that's in the forefront of how you build it. It's safety, what you want in your classrooms, but safety is a big thing. And we will make sure that it's the number one thing moving forward and making sure our kids are safe, because that's parents' biggest concern. All right, any questions or concerns that anyone would like to ask of me? Hand it over to the delegations.
What's the estimated cost of the new school? Pictures of it, you guys have some idea what it's going to cost?
We do. We set a budget at between $60 and $65 million for the new building. That's the road. That's site work, access road, bridge, and school.
And how much has been spent to date? How far in are we?
On the new school? Oh yeah. The question was what's your anticipated budget of a new school? And I said 60 to 65 million. And then the next question was how much money has I don't know the exact number. I'd be more than happy to get that for you for tomorrow night. Like I said, Jeff's not here. He would know. But just some architectural fees and getting some things out in the paper has... Exactly, I'm sorry, yes. And the land acquisition was a purchase that we made. Yep.
Okay, if there are no other questions, we're going to move on to delegations and public comment. And I have a person signed up to speak, and that would be Maggie Fisher. And she is speaking in support of the consolidation.
Good evening. My name is Maggie Fisher, and I'm a parent of 2 Tyler County School students. Zoe's a freshman and Morgan's a sophomore, and I'm also a system specialist for Tyler County Schools. So when I was a young parent with young kids, both in Borman, it was really to get back and forth. But then when I had a student, one at Borman and one here, travel was really difficult. My husband works shift work, and getting back and forth difficult, and trying to get kids and get them to where they're at. And I know that there are a lot of parents in our county who have the same problems, whether they have kids and kids here and going back and forth. So having a single community, like one place where everything would happen, would parent to breathe a sigh of relief that now we have the Boys and Girls Club. If I had kids at multiple schools, they would all be here at one time. Creating community, which I was fortunate enough to be able to process most of the data with that survey that you all saw. And one of the comments that came up frequently was place of community, because when we consolidated, and quickly, my class was the first to go grades 6 through 12 in this building. And I remember, friends from both places. I had never really been to Sistersville or visited Sistersville. I was a Middleburn kid. So having this true center of community where our kids could like watching the youth league kids cheer for our basketball team behind the sidelines. That's a really unique opportunity that can really happen if we have everybody on campus. Sharing a campus would allow students to create connections, like our Grow Your Own Teacher program. Our students would have the facilities and just to walk next door, and they would be able to have that opportunity for many years. Our Coachman's Club goes to the elementary schools, and having that have to include transportation. They could maybe do that job or do that program more frequently because they would be right here. Our FFA program could also grow and help Mrs. Kimball with some of those programs that she offers through the nutrition program. My youngest wants to be a pediatric nurse, and I think about all the opportunities she might be able to have with a clinic on the campus of this new facility. Kids who want to work with kids or just be part of this community, and how they can forge those connections. And when we think about, this past weekend having the alumni, our efforts to grow our school spirit and our connection to our community, I think this is a really great way that we can all be on the same campus and and create this brand new community out of 2 separate towns. So on the professional side, very small tech department, and we have to address tech issues across the county, and it's extremely overwhelming. Trying to take care of and manage our inventory of campuses is next to impossible. We rely on teachers and staff members at other schools to help us out, because when we're putting out one fire here, but equally, important job here that somebody else has to help us with. So having one campus, hopefully maybe with can drive up the hill and go address those issues. Consolidation would allow us to take our resources and more efficiently distribute them, and we can have everything in one place, get people what they need, and back to work in a quicker manner. Creating this true central location to unify our counseling services. We would have our counselors who, again, would not have to drive everywhere. If there is a crisis, if there's something they're needed, be there in a matter of moments. Also in the technology realm, we would have a high-speed bandwidth connection between our campuses. And if you know anything video, like we're doing at the table tonight, it takes an immense amount of bandwidth, and that connection is not always stable. But because we would have that physical connection in terms of safety, all of the networking and all the cameras that are networked among those, we would be able to process that video and really fast. And that's important and when you're trying to keep everybody safe. And I know just from experience that sometimes, you get a camera that's down or you have to load, and we would not have those problems because of the connection. And finally, speaking on a little bit on behalf of Mr. Jennings, and he doesn't know that but the 5th grade band program is one of the programs that could really benefit from this consolidation. And when we talk about, Mr. Hiley talked about bus routes, one, it would reduce the amount of time that our 5th grade band students are on the bus. Right now, they have their PE and here we have an elementary teacher who travels here to teach gym. So that way, the kids would all have it at their building. Mr. Jennings could go to them. And scheduling would be opened up for both buildings. That's really important. And that's just one example of how all of the programs, every county can grow because of the connection that we can all forge together. I would actually probably see some of the staff members, like think about the people out here at one school who never see people from another school. If we're all here, that's really nice. And we can collaborate and we can really become true consolidated program instead of separate buildings. Thank you.
Thank you, Maggie. Okay, so that is the end of the public comments, delegations speaking. So we are adjourning this meeting. If you have questions, would like to speak to any of us, if you want to look at any of the things that are up here on the stage, feel free to, and we will be able to speak with you as well as the architect who's here too. So do I have a motion to adjourn this school closure hearing? Andy made the motion to adjourn. Do I have a second? Larry seconded that. All those in favor of adjourning this school closure hearing meeting, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay. This meeting is officially adjourned. 6:35.